Well, just a few hours ago, Tennessee House Speaker Cameron Sexton says legislation is moving forward to conduct a forensic audit of Memphis-Shelby County schools. Now, the move comes in response to the controversial firing of former Superintendent Marie Fagans, which some say has a lot of state leaders, county commissioners, and community members opposed to. But the president of the Memphis-Shelby County Principals Association says Dr. Fagans' leadership fell short. Joining me now is the Principal Association's president and principal of Southwind High School, Mr. John Bush. Mr. Bush, welcome. Glad to have you here on the 3 p.m.
I'm glad to be here, Alex.
You have been busy. You've been speaking out a lot. You had a column recently in the newspaper, and now you're talking to WREG at 3 p.m. Why this different perspective about Dr. Fagans, especially her leadership?
Well, I felt like that in listening to everything that was happening in the news, that I want to provide more context to the situation. I want to bring some facts that weren't made available to the public. And so I knew I had some information to share, so I decided to share it.
But as we also mentioned earlier, Dr. Fagans, very popular in the community. A lot of county commissioners support her. A lot of state leaders are coming out in support. What do they know that you don't, or what do you know that they don't know about her?
Well, yeah, all of that, you're right. So in working with Dr. Fagans over the 8 months or so that she was in office, where I started working with her in April, all the way up until January. And there were a lot of concerns that I brought to her personally for the Principals Association that never were handled. She would always talk to us about them, but those concerns never were met. And so after a while, if you're continuing to ask somebody questions and you're continuing to bring them your concerns, but they never address them, then you realize that that's not going to happen.
Well, a lot of people will say Dr. Fagans was that change agent that Memphis-Shelby County schools needed, that the district had become bloated, that there were reports or speculation that there was nepotism, and that she was trying to direct and make change, and that she was the right person. But you say?
So when we think about that particular question, change and the district bloated. Now we do realize that yes, our district, there were some cuts that probably needed to be made. However, the cuts that were made were to some essential areas and resources that schools needed. So in talking to Dr. Fagans and trying to explain that to her, simply went on deaf ears. There were situations where she even had senior leaders who were trying to advise her of things to do that would help schools, and she simply didn't listen. So for instance, I'll give you one good example. Okay. So every year in our district, we have an assessment platform that the district provides to every school that the district pays for. So I immediately started talking to her about this back in July. I emailed her all these lists of concerns back in August about an assessment platform, about online platform, about one-to-one devices for students that we no longer had, simply because she let all of the contracts expire. The public didn't know that. A lot of people in the district didn't know that. And so trying to do the job without the resources that you need, not what you want, but resources that you need to be able to move schools.
Some people will still say, Mr. Bush, though, the school board and others just did not give her enough time to really get acclimated and carry out some of these duties.
So if we think about it, it was still December, and we still didn't have, in some schools today, still don't have an assessment platform. The contract to be able to purchase laptops, if you remember, wasn't approved until a late December board meeting because she let that contract expire.
Was that contentious board meeting that a lot of people remember back right before Christmas? Around that time?
Yes, it was. So in thinking about that and knowing that we had been having these conversations with her, I've had these conversations with her personally since April, and it still wasn't done. So how much time are we supposed to give? That's more than halfway. We've got to move schools. We've got to educate students. So you've got to have the resources that you need.
I have about a minute left here. But what about the fear that we are only kind of fueling the fire here locally for the state to say they don't know what they're doing over in Memphis, Tennessee? With that in mind, what do you see with Dr. Richmond, the interim superintendent, and the school board as it is right now? Are they up to doing the job themselves?
Very much so.
Why so?
So in talking to Dr. Richmond, I've had a chance to meet with him a couple of times already. He has a vision. He has a path to stabilize the district, but number one, he's talking about academic gains. He's talking about resources for schools, resources that we desperately need, that we're used to having, that we no longer have.
So you don't think it will be much of the same with Dr. Richmond or some of the others?
No, I think he has a vision for what it is that we need to do to move the schools. He's already talked to principals. There, for instance, I'll use one real quick thing. Fairleigh High School just came back online with Memphis Shelby County Schools. They already got their new faucets that they've gotten that the current principal, Dr. Hunter, has been trying to get all year. Dr. Richmond has already made that happen.
I have to ask you very quickly, do you think there will be a state takeover?
I certainly hope not. The ASD did not work. I think that the state coming in here to take over schools, they shouldn't do that. I think they need to come in and bring in resources. Memphis is high in poverty. Why not come in and bring resources to help us with our students? We're a level 5 district. We've been a level 5 district for the last 3 years. Why would you come in and take over a district that's not failing academically? We need support. We don't need you to come in and take it over. We have the right people. And if it's a problem with the board, there's a mechanism for that. It's called an election.
Gotcha.
Next time, vote for someone else if it's the board. But I think the board's making the right decision. I think Dr. Richmond is definitely the man for the job to lead us.
John Bush, thank you very much for your time. We'd love to have you back on the 3 p.m.
Thank you. We'd love to come back.
All right.